What is up, guys? Very different type of video because I'm vlogging the entirety of the video, and I'm going to do this quite consistently moving forward. So we're still going to have the videos with Aaron because I do like the style of videos with him as well, but you know, we'll be doing more vlogs. And obviously it's pretty hard to do a proper vlog with a videographer because I want to film like more, you know, throughout the whole day. So to do that, I'm going to be filming myself, and I'm going to be filming in the car. I've got a setup in the car now, so I can just talk to you whilst driving, which is really cool. So yeah, this is exciting. It's a new chapter, really. Like, YouTube's really going to pick up now. I'm going to be uploading way more regularly. So yeah, it's going to be good fun, and I'm really excited to see what's ahead with it. But yeah, so heading on to the gym right now to train push, and we'll go for a push session. But yeah, I'm like 5 weeks into prep now, and I hit a low yesterday of 83.5 kilos, which is pretty cool because I started at 88, so I've been moving at a really good pace. But yeah, so 83.5 kilos, we're about 10 kilos away from stage weight, to be honest, and I am 22.5 weeks out from the first show, but a lot longer until the last show. Yeah, so I've got shows planned at the 1st of November, so we'll have a little bit longer until then. And yeah, just in a really good spot, I think. Obviously, we want to be in a really good spot for that first show. I want to bring a really good condition for that first show. I don't want to be stepping on the stage with loads to come off still at that stage. So we're pushing ahead now, and that's fine. It's better to do it that way round. Honestly, people worry about holding muscle. I really think you can hold muscle if you do it the right way. The mistakes people make is they get very shredded too early, but then they just push for condition, and they just go through stages of dieting for too long. If you push and pull and you run high days at the right time, you can manage it really well. And not even just high days, but maybe even times away from dieting, so diet breaks, or even, you know, a different phase. So like 3 to 4 weeks of more calories to freshen off and then just go back down again could be the thing that you could do to really freshen off and preserve muscle. The problem people make is they just stay in a deficit for too long when hormonally they're negatively impacted from being that lean. You got to understand, the leaner you are, the less exposed you want to be to a deficit in terms of the size of the deficit, but also in terms of the length of the deficit, okay? So if you can balance things off with less time being in a deficit, you're fine. People say, oh, he's too lean too early, and he could be if he doesn't manage it right, but you can manage it right, and it's just about being smart. So that's what we're going to do. But I do feel a lot leaner now, and I'm quite excited to see the look today posing, because I can tell, like, I'm putting on trousers and they're just like falling down almost. Like, it's a pretty substantial change with my waist, for sure. Everything just seems to be a little bit looser around the hips, so I'm excited to pose and see how the look is, because for 83.5 kilos I feel very lean for this body weight. Like, I've never been in this condition at this body weight before, and it's actually really making me very happy, because we'll see, but I think I may have actually added some stage weight, so we'll see what happens though. We'll pose later. Yeah, in for push, we've got shoulder press, the Nautilus shoulder press, which I really enjoy. It's quite heavy at the top, but it's very stable, which I enjoy about it. I like the neutral grip. I find the wide grip's too externally rotated. It just messes with my shoulder too much. So in this plane feels a lot more safe and works the front delt really nicely. I do think this plane does hit more medial delt. This hits more front delt, but if you're doing enough lateral raises and stuff, you don't need to take a wide grip. You can just do your medial delts through medial delt raises and so on. So we'll start with that. Then we've got the fly, the mega mass upright press, which is so heavy in the stretch. You got to really control that one, otherwise you can mess up with your shoulder, but it is very, very nice. Really good press. And I'd like to battle 4 plates again, but I don't know how much longer I can hold that. So I'll see how the warm-ups go. If I need to just work through a higher rep range, it might be smart. You got to understand, when you get leaner, yes, you can preserve your strength, but your confidence going through heavier weights is a lot harder. Like, you can't just do 4 or 5 rep sets with good quality, because the stability challenge is too great. So, but yeah, we're almost at the gym now. I'm going to finish my pre-workout. I've been talking now, I haven't been able to drink this, but we've got the Focus pre I use from Supplement Knees, which is so good because it keeps my sleep in a good spot, but I just get locked in. So yeah, this with some pump as well. We'll see if we can get a pump because I'm getting a little bit flatter, but I think we'll get a pump. We'll see. Right, so first in, we're doing the plate loaded shoulder press, which is quite heavy at the top, but doing it first is perfect then. Anything that's heavy at the top or like the short, do it at the front. So I love this piece because it's just firstly very stable. The grips are very stable. I like the fat grips. I feel like I can get a lot of leverage into it. I feel very locked in around here. I'm not sliding around. I can just create a lot of force in the direction I want. Tip when you're doing this shoulder press is keep your upper arms like tucked in. If you start doing this, and if your elbow starts like lining in a weird angle that it doesn't really line up with the way that the handles are moving, then you're going to get shoulder issues. So if it's converging, you can be there a little bit, but if you start being like there, but then you're going up there, that's when you get problems. So. Right, so I wanna take 5 today. I think I did 4 plates and a 15 for 8. I think 2 weeks ago on the continuous. I do this both weeks. One's pause, second in, and the other time continuous. My plan to do 5 is do 3 now. Then I'll put my elbow sleeves on, wrist wraps, get a bit more warmer. Take 4. 4 should fly, and that'll give me the confidence going into 5. So, but we'll see how this moves. Like, if this feels shit, then obviously I'm not going to be stupid, but it will be fine. So. Lovely. Haha. Right, so we're going on to this incline nautilus fly. I literally just do one set before I go into the press, just to get my chest like really warm. I find it actually helps my performance when I press. Just getting a bit more blood in this area, and it helps also keep my shoulders feel safe. But this fly is quite heavy at the top, so I prefer doing it before the press because the press is actually light in the top, in the short. It actually gets way heavier in the lengthened position. So it makes sense from a resistance profile standpoint to do this before the press. So if you are doing a fly variation that's quite heavy in the short, and then you're going onto a machine press that drops off in the short, and you do the machine press first, flip them round, I guarantee you the performance of the press won't change and you'll be stronger on the fly. I promise you. Try it and then you can let me know. But yeah, one set on here, that's all I do. Because I do more fly stuff later on into the session, which I'll explain why, but let's do it. We're going to aim for 4, I think, based on how 2 moved. But yeah, I'm either going to do 3 and then just go straight into 4. I might do 3.5. Just depends how this feels. Like if this feels absolutely immense and I feel warm after it, then I'll go straight to 4, preserve some energy. If I feel like I need a bit more, then we'll do 3.5. But yeah, it's feeling good today. It feels strong. Not sure why, but it's good. It just shows like, never expect anything when you go into session to be bad. Fuck it, let's do 4 straight away. Oh! Oh! So it's half a rep up, but definitely more range. I'll take that, I'll really take that. The place you take yourself in before you do these sets matters so fucking much. I don't know if you could tell, but like, I'm just in such a zone. I have music that can just make me flick the switch like that and just go to a place where nothing is on my mind but the set I'm about to go into. And that's why I fucking love training. No matter how many issues you have in life, no matter what is going on, when you're in this gym, everything else, the outside noise, is gone. It's you in that objective, and nothing's taking you away from that objective in the moment. During that set, what is there to distract me? There should be nothing. If you're in a set and you're looking for distractions, looking around, you're not going to the gym for the right reasons. The number one best thing about training is what it does for this, above anything else. And if you want to get the benefits that the training does for this, you need to learn how you can just fucking just flick that switch and just go to a place where nothing else in that moment matters. That's what that set was about. Very happy with it. Right, final set on here. Pauses, just to rinse the lengthened position even more. Just rinse as much control as I can now. Oh. Right, so I finished on lateral raises. I only showed you one set because it's just the same thing. But I do 4 sets. I do 8 sets of laterals because it's a smaller muscle group. I can recover from it. It's not going to create any fatigue. People trying to do like 1 RAR on this need to get grip. You're not going to get any fatigue from this. So do a lot of work through this. See how you can recover from it. If you have good amounts of time in your session, you can do a little bit more volume on it. For me, I want that width. I need width. Like when I'm here, I want to be wide. It's so important. So yeah, we're done on here. Now we're going to go on to the Nautilus fly, the decline, which is the GOAT fly. This fly is really good at this point in the session because it drops off like crazy into the short and it really overloads the length and position. So the first fly I ran was the opposite way around. I also love this because I can use a seat belt, which I didn't have last prep. They didn't have this on this, and it was so much harder to retain performance in it because as I got lighter, I felt like my body was having to like hold myself in place, and I couldn't do that as I got really light. So this really helps, just keeps you in a safer position with your hips. You know, you're not throwing yourself around, locked in. And yeah, so far I've been retaining it throughout, despite getting lighter, which is very promising. So. Oh, it's good, retained. But yeah, I do 2 sets on this, so a total of 3 sets of flies in this session, but 2 variations. So yeah, it's a good amount that I can recover from. But what I would say is, if you're doing more length and bias stuff, you will get sorer. So it's like 2 sets that are more length and bias, and then there's 1 that's heavy in the short. So if I think I did 3 sets on here, the recovery might be a little bit more tricky, especially because the presses are also length and bias. Any movement that is heavy in the length position will create more muscle damage. So it's just about recognizing that. Final set on here, we're doing pauses, just to overload the length position even more now. I just find that extra bit of ownership is pretty helpful at this stage. Right, I'm on the floor, as you can see. The reason I like this setup is mainly because I can use the floor as like a point to standardize. Every rep on my upper arms to touch the floor. But it's also a bit more length and bias this because I'm like really lining it up with here. Once I get to here, it drops off a lot. So it feels really nice. I do an incline lateral, like a low incline half lateral raise as well in my other push session, but each push session I'll alternate just because some variation, it helps with progress. It really does help you keep the progressions moving. Straight in, I don't see any point warming up at this stage. Definitely feeling a little bit flatter now. I have a very adaptive physique, so when I go flat, like it's very, very visually noticeable. but it's just part of it. As long as you're holding performance, you're all good. So if you are going flat in prep, just know that if you're holding performance, you do not have to worry. Your physique will just change just from a high carb meal. That's all it takes. That's why I do think experience in this game really does help, just with like minimizing stress through the process. So if you are in your first prep, maybe relying on a coach to give you advice, but also asking people that have prepped, getting a good understanding of what to expect is really, really useful. Right, so last warm up on this single arm dip. The reason I do this single arm is just because of the alignment. It's very, very wide. And also for stability purposes, I can brace with my free arm and it helps a lot. So just kind of going back to that point I made at the start of the session about just picking a press where you feel very stable and you can create a lot of force. And this really allows me to do that because of the seatbelt. Absolute game changer, the seatbelt. So I've got the seatbelt on, I'm locked in like this, and I can just create a lot of force. I rarely ever think about biasing an area in a dip. I'm trying to find my strongest position. This is like a compound, a tricep compound. That's how you should think about it. So if you get strong at this, very, very strong, and your upper arm is situated close to your body, your triceps are gonna grow because they are kind of the main driver of that movement. It's your tricep locked in, and you're gonna get a lot of pec as well, which is fine. I'm trying to work pec, front delt, tricep. This is kind of like the compound press, which if you get really strong at, you will have a thick top line. And if you don't, you're probably ego lifting. So final warm up, 5 plates. We'll see how this moves. I'm also eager to see how locked in I can feel in it because I've lost a lot of weight, and we'll see how efficient this belt can actually be. But I'm trying to make it as tight as possible because it makes a difference. That'll do. That's good. Last time I did 6 for 9 reps. Let's go for it again. Oh, fuck. We just did it. I don't know how much longer that's going to hold, to be honest. Might have to go a little bit lighter and have a little bit more ownership. One of the problems is it fucking digs into my hands. Dips and close grip pressing is probably one of my strongest things. So I think I'm very strong at this, and it just fucking kills my hand. It's like that amount of force. But yeah, I sound like a bit of a bitch saying that, but you'll notice. Well, you probably won't notice it because we'll cut through it, but I'm going to rest for a good few minutes now, even between each arm. It's so important because I've been bracing with this arm and everything. I need to now let it recover a bit, and I catch my breath, get in a good spot to go into that set. Oh, fuck. Right, so I'm doing 3 sets of push downs. This is really for the short head. So I'm getting braced here and I'm just driving my wrist to my hip, getting my tricep as contracted as I can. So I love this movement because I can really lock in. When I do dual arm, as I get lighter, it gets a little less stable. I've started adding a belt with plates to weigh myself down, which is a game changer. But it's nice to not have to do that every session because it's a little bit of a faff. So in this one, I'm just like holding onto the machine to lock myself in. And it also means I can work on a weaker arm, which is my right arm. Like I have a bit more fullness in this tricep compared to that one, I find. Even though this is the side tricep side I hit, because my hamstring's a little bit better. But yeah, it is what it is. So this just gives me an opportunity to focus on this side first. Yeah, so you'll see that side was stronger. Like the last rep was almost 1 RIR. So if you just go on your weaker side first, match the reps on your stronger side after, you can really balance out those imbalances. All right, final exercise, overhead cuff extension. I love this because of the shoulder extension it puts me in. The stretch I can get is just very, very good. The only issue with doing overhead tricep extensions where there's a lot of shoulder extension is the stability issue. When you're here, there's arguably less force output. Well, here we go, single arm. I can do this, which is just a game changer. I can lock in right here, and I'm just so stable. So it's basically just a very length and bias movement where you can access that full stretch of the tricep. Do it right at the end. Because I've lined it up to align with here, it drops off into the short. And the best thing about this as well is the level stretch I get at the end. Once I fell here, I can just rinse this position, do some partials, smash it out, which I would do if I was in a growing phase, but now I'm just being very mindful of standardizing recovery and performance. It's just being held through standardizing recovery. So right now I'm not doing that, but it's a good thing you can do if you're in a surplus and you can just full send some things. So. Held that. I'm very happy because you'll notice when you diet, the ability to retain stuff right at the end can get a bit tricky as you're burning through carbs, but yeah, job done. We do have one more set though. It's crazy how much easier that side is. Final set of the day, dropped 1 rep, sad times. But I will take it. I think that was the only set that regressed in the whole session. So, right, it's in these moments that I realised why Sam Sulek always wears a hat. Because when you pose, I can't use my mic. It's a shame I can't just magnet it onto my body, but that doesn't work obviously. So yeah, I'm just going to do a round and show you the look after hitting a new low. Yeah, quite flat at the moment, but it's worth it. Like the pump was pretty minimal today. Like, yeah, pretty minimal, but we're getting the job done with fat loss, that's what we want. I decided that this is the better line. The natural line is just, it's like reflecting all of me, so this will be a bit clearer in terms of conditioning because you won't really see much sit at the window. Right, so it is pretty late. I've been very, very busy today with work, new inquiries, had a couple setups, had a haircut that I had no time to film. So I just got back and was just non-stop. But it's a pretty exciting evening because I'm going to unbox my Elite Sats parcel and then I'm going to have meal 5 with something that's in the parcel. So I figured I'd just show you that. Before we get into that, yeah, that was a really good push session. So happy to progress a lot of sets despite being a lot leaner. So, obviously I went about that a lot in the session, but it just shows, to not expect to drop performance, and you should always expect to progress because sometimes you might surprise yourself. So yeah, I was really happy with that. But yeah, I'm not going to go into that too much. It was a good session. But yeah, so we have the box here. A few different things that I got for this one. One of them is pretty expensive, so it just covers the majority of the kind of delivery. But AJ was talking about this actually in his YouTube, so I noticed it myself. There's things in Support Max like lion's mane and also just ashwagandha and the dosage of it, and some other things in it that kind of just make you focus. So I was using Support Max Neuro PM before bed, and it would affect my sleep, even though it's a PM one, because there were ingredients in it that, yeah, just actually took away from my sleep quality. So we've got the Support Max Neuro, not the PM one, just the Neuro one for the evenings, and I'm going to take this post-workout and get my ashwagandha in then, because lion's mane in it is quite nootropic for focus. So I'm going to trial this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have glycine and magnesium before bed and then see what that does, because I think it'll be a really nice setup. Now, I don't think I'm going to do that until I need it. Right now, I've cycled off ashwagandha. You do want to cycle on and off it occasionally. So I've done that, and since doing it, I've been fine. My sleep's been good. So I'm going to use this as a tool for when I get a bit further into prep and I need it to improve my sleep. The exciting thing in this parcel is this, which I'm going to try in my meal 5. Yeah, it's going to be good. I will review it in the next video though, because this isn't a full day of eating, and yeah, it's pretty late. Chocolate explosion, perfect for Easter. I hope it doesn't just taste like chocolate whey. We'll see. But yeah, it's an exciting one. So we're gonna have that in my yogurt. And then I've got 2 staples. The EAs I always use, Hydro EAs. They hydrate you as well as just giving you a good protein spike. So very, very nice. Cherry bubblegum tastes amazing. And then the GOAT pump pre, like I will find no pump pre-workout that will beat this, because it's very good for focus, but the pumps I get from it also are very good. So Superhuman Pump. If you want a pump product, this is the one to get. It is so good. The alpha GPC in it is a really good ingredient for focus. So yeah, that is what I've ordered in for this month. You can see here from Elite Sups. If you want to get any of these, go to Elite Sups, use my code PAL10, and it will give you a discount. But yeah, guys, appreciate you guys watching. I'm currently messy hair post shower in like comfortable clothing, ready to just chill out because it's been a long day. I need like an hour to switch off before bed. Yeah, it's 9:45 to 10, so it might be 45 minutes. That's all I'm gonna get. But yeah, thank you for all the support, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in another vlog very, very soon.